Thank you for switching on your local radio station for Peterborough. This is PCRFM and Kev Lawrence with Breakfast through till 10 playing Deacon Blue and Twist and Shout. The time is 8:08. So you may not have heard of this before. How are you, Peterborough? H.A.Y. Peterborough. It's a new platform. Trish Barker-Barrett is the project manager for it. So from yoga to singing, sports clubs to arts groups, or maybe just somewhere to go and talk to someone, to get a cup of tea. How are you, Peterborough? They've built this new health and wellbeing platform for the city, and I want to find out all about it, because I've never heard of it before. Trish is on the line to discuss it. Morning, Trish.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to PCR. So, for me and anyone listening who hasn't heard of How Are You Peterborough before, it's relatively new, isn't it? Tell us more about it.
It is indeed. So it's a new website that's bringing together everything local that's good for mental well-being. And actually, we're part of a bigger project. We're part of the Peterborough Community Mental Health Exemplar, which is one of 12 national pilot sites for NHS England, who are really tasked with transforming community mental health care. And for us locally in Peterborough, that is all about joining up the support that exists in primary care, so that's within GP surgeries, within specialist services for mental health support, but also out across the voluntary sector and the wider community. So we're really looking at trying to bridge the gaps between each of those things. And it's a huge project. There's been lots of investment over the last 12 months. And lots of support for those with the most severe mental health challenges, and lots of clinical intervention. But one of the things we did a year ago now, when we were allowed to have big groups of people in a room, thankfully, was we set up a big event. We did a piece of work which we call co-production, where we brought together lots of people with lived experience of mental health challenges themselves and people who work in that field. And we asked them to redefine for us what mental health care really is. And it was really from there that this website started to grow.
Can you give us a single line answer to that question? Because, I mean, I'm sure that's not easy, but, you know...
mental health care?
Yeah, to try and redefine what it is. And the reason I asked that question, I mean, Boris Johnson just recently was talking about the importance of mental health. I saw in one of his press briefings, one of the members of the public asked him about mental health and said, will you be appointing a mental health minister? And, you know, we're all struggling, aren't we, at the moment? Some of us get more bad days than good days at the moment. And this is why I think it's so important, the work that you're doing. But I'd like to just try and get a better understanding of how you define it.
Sure, and I think your point there is so important. We all have mental health, so however we're feeling on one day to the next, it's something that we all need to take care of. It's not something that we only should worry about when it's a real struggle for us. And I think in terms of a definition, actually, mental health care looks different for all of us. And one of the things we're trying to do is to make sure that we give kind of parity to support that we maybe all think of about mental health, so talking to people or maybe even medication, but with more creative solutions. So when we spoke to people, they talked to us about all sorts of groups that existed locally, and really our mission is to make sure that we can share that knowledge with as many people as possible. So mental health care might look like going to something like locally we have CPSL Mind, who run really great good mood cafes, and they're all running online at the moment. So they're spaces you can talk with other people who might have shared your experiences. But it might look like going to a yoga or a Pilates class. So you might find someone like Charlie Newton in Peterborough who's running buggy fit classes, and that for you might be the thing that really lifts your mood and makes you feel better, gives you some people to talk to and helps you shape your day.
Okay, I mean, I'm really interested in what you're saying. So you've basically got this website that you've created, and it's called How Are You Peterborough, H.A.Y. Peterborough. Is it open for literally anybody to look at and maybe get some help from?
Absolutely, and I really hope that your listeners today will go and have a peek and check it out. It is a new space, so we're still spreading the word, but it's absolutely a public-facing site, so it's for everyone, and I hope it's got something for everyone on there. But we're also making sure it's a space that we share with professionals, so it's something that we're sitting and talking to our colleagues who work in GP surgeries. Some of your listeners might have heard of social prescribers, who really do support people connecting with things in the community when they're having a tough time with lots of different things, actually. So we're working with those two people. We're also working with clinicians in specialist services. So it's a site that should join us all together, because actually we all have a part to play in supporting one another, particularly at the moment, and haven't we all felt it just now? It's very challenging out there. And we all support each other with mental health every day. So we hope we're just starting to make a space that we can all shout about the things that are great locally that might make a difference to us.
Okay. On the homepage of your website, you can see a lovely picture of the steps of the Guildhall in Peterborough, and you've got the words bringing together everything in the local community that is good for mental well-being. And I guess that encapsulates what it is. And then you scroll down and there's activities, like you say, from yoga to singing and sports clubs and so many other things. And there's just like buttons you can just click. Why did you come up with the name H.A.Y. Peterborough?
We talked to lots of people and we put together lots of eyes together. This has absolutely been a collaborative effort, and it still continues to be one. It's a space that evolves, and we're constantly talking to people to see what they think and how we can best shape it. One of the most important things actually that came out was we had a good look at what already existed online. We didn't want to create something that wasn't needed. And there are various places that give you kind of listings of different things that are on that might be supportive. But one of the things we know, if you're struggling at all with mental health, it's one thing being told, oh, why don't you go and try a yoga class, that might help. But taking those steps are really, really difficult. So we've got video introductions of people who run those classes locally, saying hi, giving you maybe a taster of what their classes are like, and hopefully bridging that gap a little bit between thinking about something that might be supportive for you and actually getting out there and doing it. And hopefully as lockdown starts to ease, we're all going to need a little bit of a nudge to get back out the door and do those things, and we hope it might become a really useful resource for people.
Trish, that was my next question. I mean, we're going to hear on Monday, aren't we, the route, the roadmap out of these restrictions, and I think you're right. I think a lot of people are going to need maybe a big nudge to get out again and start doing it, because people have become accustomed to staying in. People have become, I guess, used to their own four walls. Yeah. But as the weeks go by, that isn't going to be a good thing. And listen, talking about mental health, it's a really big subject, I know. And anyone listening who feels they need support, of course, contact your GP and reach out. There are so many amazing services out there. Trish mentioned CPSL Mind. On my Saturday show on the BBC, I'm doing something every Saturday called Good Mood Saturdays, and we're chatting to so many different groups, and there are people out there that want to help, who are really good people to talk to. And I think this whole H.A.Y. Peterborough, How Are You Peterborough, is a brilliant idea to join it all together and almost become like a one-stop place for any group or organisation or service that's out there that's offering help to people in whatever shape or form that might look like regarding mental health. I'm so into this. I'm so passionate about this, and I can tell you are as well, Trish. What about final words, final comments to anybody listening that's maybe just sort of dipped into the conversation midway through? One more time, just give us a big synopsis of this website and what you'd like listeners to do.
We'd really love you to go and visit. So the web address is www.haypeterborough.co.uk. Go and have a look. So there are two sections on the site, an activities section and a support section. So if you're after more professional help, go have a look at everything we've pulled together on the support side. And go in with an open mind about what might make a difference to your day. We all need to take care of ourselves, so take that time for yourself today and think about what might lift your mood. And also, if you know about an activity going on in the city that you think we should know about, please do get in touch. We've got a contact us page. As I say, this work is continually evolving, and as things change from lockdown and people start to transfer back to face-to-face, we're updating with those changes, so we would love to hear from people.
Well said, Trish. Good to talk to you. So that website again is H.A.Y. Peterborough. Stands for How Are You Peterborough. So haypeterborough.co.uk. And Trish, the project manager, really good conversation to talk about that. Thank you for coming on to PCR this morning, and have a good day. Thank you.
Angie, bye-bye.